All right, let's go ahead and get started. I want to welcome you to the course customization webinar for Courseware. This is courses to fit the needs of your students. So today we'll be talking about course customization, of course. I expect this webinar to last about 30 minutes, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask as we go through. So you know a little bit about who I am and who's presenting to you today, of course. My name is Crystal, and I've been with Edmentum for 3 years. I serve here as a services implementation specialist. And when I say here, that is Dallas, Texas, where I was born and raised. I have my bachelor's in human development and family sciences, but I actually decided not to go that route. I actually just enjoy service, so that's how I got in this role. And here at Edmentum, we do embody this educator first philosophy. So that just means we put the educators at the forefront of everything we do. Sorry, haven't had enough coffee. We put the educators at the forefront of everything we do. So if you have a question today that I cannot answer, I will make sure your question gets answered if I have to reach out to some internal people here and then get back to you. So feel free to ask questions as we go along. Now at the bottom of your workshop or the webinar today, you should see a Q&A box and a chat box. As we go through, if you have questions, feel free to chat them in. I'm the only one on the webinar, and I can definitely stop as we go along. Also, if you need to leave at any point, again, I am going to try to stick to 30 minutes, but if you do need to leave, this webinar is being recorded, so it will be sent to you no matter if you leave or if you can't attend or anything like that. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into our agenda. So today we're going to start by just doing a quick courseware refresh for anybody who has never attended a courseware workshop or is maybe new to courseware, a prospect to courseware, anything like that. I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis of what courseware is and as a solution and basically why you would use it. I'll also then move on to our actual content today, and that's talking about the course customization feature that lives within courseware. I'll give you some reasons why you would want to customize courses, just in case you haven't thought those through yet. And then we'll do a live demo where I show you how to customize courses. I'll end with some best practices, just that you should know when customizing your courses in courseware. And then a Q&A portion. I just have a little bit of time there. If you don't have your questions answered by the end, we can leave some time for that. And then I'll provide you with some support resources there. So what is courseware? So for anybody who is new or maybe just needs a refresh, courseware is an online learning solution designed to provide robust quality academic curriculum and courses to grades 6 through 12. So basically it's online learning solution. It provides curriculum, rigorous curriculum to grades 6 through 12. So it's a course that's taken online. The great thing about it is about Edmentum Courseware is that our courses provide a variety of subjects, and there's just so many courses that you can use to expand your current library. So if you don't have a CompTIA course, which is like it's almost like a networking course or a technology course, you could provide that to your students. If you needed to provide some additional core courses or world languages, we have those. So it really just expands your course catalog. And then all of our courses are state or nationally aligned. So you don't have to worry about standards alignments. We have a scope and sequence of our courses if you need that. But the great thing about those courses, if you don't like them, or not if you don't like them, if you need to add something to them, or if you have a different way of that you want to go about providing the course, you can actually customize them or move things around within the course. And we're going to look at customizing it today. Our courses are delivered in an interactive, constructivist format. So that just means the learner is going to be involved and engaged in their learning. They're going to be asked to do something or to participate in their actual course. And then not just look at a computer and read a screen and memorize it. They actually have to interact. And then for the teachers, we have some intuitive, and for students, we have intuitive dashboards that provides access to real-time data, progress, pacing, course grades, things you may have already seen when you're in the program. And all of our courses, they can be used for original first-time credit, credit recovery, unit recovery, again, to expand your library. We have college readiness courses, career readiness courses, core courses, world language courses. So there's just a variety that you can support. And it supports both virtual and blended learning. All right, so with that said, let's actually talk about the customizable function of courseware. And that's going to be through our custom course builder. So our custom course builder is a tool that you can use to alter or create a course to meet the needs of whatever implementation or student needs that you have. Again, these courses can be used for original credit, first-time credit, credit recovery. It's totally up to you how you customize your course and how and the need that it fits. So it gives you so much flexibility to really hone a course and make it what your student needs or what you would like it to be. And you do have to be a program administrator, so that is one notch above instructor. You do have to at least be a program administrator to have access to the custom course builder. And you can always start a course from scratch. You can always use an existing course that we already have, or you can actually use a course that you've already customized. So you want to do something new with that custom course. You can actually use that custom course to then build another custom course. So it really allows you a lot of flexibility there. You can, of course, build your courses based off of a specific curriculum outline. So if you have some curriculum, or if we have a Plato course and you're not okay with how the structure of the course is going, you can go ahead and modify that, or you can and you can just modify and remove content. So you have an existing Plato course that you're using, you can take stuff out. I know often we see that the discussions and the unit activities are taken out or removed from courses, and maybe you add in some outside content like websites, PDF documents, any additional documents you want to be a part of the course. You can really make it your own there. So it's a really great feature to use. So with that said, you may be wondering, so why would you want to customize your course? And here are just a few reasons that I've heard and that we hear kind of around why you need to, why you would want to custom, or why customers have been wanting to customize their course. And one of the most, or one of the reasons why that I hear a lot is that the original course is too hard, which I want to point out here that our courses are aligned to state standards. So whatever the standard of the course is, whatever the standards alignment, whether it's national or state, whatever that course alignment is, it is aligned to the national standards. And so if material is too hard for a student, it might be because they're not up to that grade level of standards. And so often we'll have customers customize a course for that reason. Also for credit recovery. So I see a lot where students didn't complete a course during that semester and they need a shortened version of the course. It's a great feature for that. You would want to customize your course in those situations, because if you don't, it makes a lot of work for the instructor to go in and not remove some items, but maybe like exempt items, drop items, have a student take a pretest. It's just a lot more material within a course. If you can shorten that, even for unit recovery for students, you can definitely do that. Also, summer school implementations, it's great to just shorten what they would have gotten over a year into what's more digestible, but still fits the needs or the standards and the scope and sequence that you need. And then also just, again, to fit the district structure of curriculum. So if your district follows a certain curriculum layout and the Plato course or state course doesn't follow that exact same layout, you can customize the course to fit that curriculum layout. I'm going to pause to just make sure we don't have any questions before I jump into the live demo. Again, you can use the Q&A or the chat feature to, I am not thinking today, to ask questions. I'll pause for just a few seconds. All right, so since I'm not seeing any questions, I'm going to go ahead and move forward into our live demo. I'm going to log into my Play-Doh account. And again, I'm logging in as a program administrator. You do have to at least be a program administrator. Account administrators can do this as well, but you do need to at least have that program administrator functionality, or I'm sorry, role. Then I'm going to move this over so you can see it. All right, so I'm logged in to Courseware, and I'm a program administrator. You'll see I have my programs here, so I'm just going to hover over Courseware and then choose my program. All right, and then to access the custom course builder, you actually go right here to menu. You're going to go down the menu to this third to last option, custom course builder. And then if you haven't already started a course and kind of left it in a draft state, you're going to see this option that says there are no custom courses. So what you actually want to do is go to Actions right here, and then you're going to create a custom course. That's where you'll start. All right. So then you're going to be taken to this screen, and right here across the top, we see that you're able to start building your curriculum from a resource, subject, or grade. So that's any Play-Doh courses, Play-Doh titles, or custom courses that you already have set up. And then you're also able to filter or find courses, curriculum by standards. So for just this second, I'm going to go ahead and choose resource, subject, and grade. And then I have to choose my resource type. So again, Play-Doh courses, Play-Doh titles, curriculum, or course curriculum. Play-Doh titles is any content that is not a full course, so it's more skill-based. And then, of course, custom courses are any custom courses you've already done. So I'm going to go with Play-Doh courses. And you'll see it already starts to populate data. If I want to filter that even more, I can choose a subject and a grade level. I'm going to leave this as is. And I'm just looking over for questions. All right. And then you're going to find your course. So I always recommend, if you are unfamiliar with any of the content in Play-Doh courses, or how the structure of our courses are, or if you're just unfamiliar with a course, always go and view the course first. And you can actually do that from here. So say, for example, I'm looking at Algebra 1 Semester A. I can click this icon here, which is like a arrow, and then it expands the entire course. So I can view the student orientation, the syllabus, the course activity. I can view all of that. I can also go into a unit, just hit that arrow, and I can view the pretest, the discussion, all the modules. And if I go into a module, I can view the tutorial and the mastery test, the practice, if it has one. I can pretty much view all that curriculum. So if you're unfamiliar with what's in the course, I always recommend just viewing it so you know what you're giving your students. Makes sense for even if you're not customizing a course. Now, I'm going to go ahead and collapse this. When you're ready to pull curriculum for your course, the first thing you would want to do is identify what you want to pull. So at this level, say I wanted to pull the whole unit, I would just click on it, drag it to my custom course. So it's going to say your name here, your username. And what you want to do, don't put it down here. Just don't try to drag it in this area because you'll see it doesn't turn green. You actually need to hover over the briefcase, almost like you're putting it in the briefcase, right? You can just drop it in there. Now, you'll notice that I can't pull the entire course over, but if you want the entire course and just want to remove certain items, I always recommend clicking the Shift key, going through and checking off the ones you want, because it'll select all of it, and then pulling that over. But hold on, because I have something there. It's gonna do it. Yep. Why isn't it doing it now? Let's see. Maybe it's what I have selected. There it is. Okay, so I can only take units over all at once. The rest of the information I have to add by itself, which is fine. One thing I want to point out, the syllabus does not change because of what you put in there, so keep that in mind. The syllabus is actually the full syllabus. Unit 1 didn't go over. But once you have the material over there, then you can go and remove what you don't want. So say, for instance, in Unit 1, I don't want graphs of linear equations. I can always just X out what I don't want. You'll also notice that the end of semester didn't come over. It's actually grayed out. And the reason why is because the end of semester generates content based off of what you put in the course. So say I was done with this course. I'm going to collapse it. Say I was done and I wanted to generate the end of semester. I can click this button over here, which gives me a few options like adding units, adding documents, adding a Dropbox activity, website. I can also rename the course from here. But if I add my end of semester, it pops down here. So then that end of semester is only based off of the material here. All right. I'm going to look over for questions. I have 2 syllabuses over here. Let me take one of them out. Let me put my course practice over here. Maybe I can't put the course practice in. Not sure about that, but if you have questions about it, I can find out for you because I believe you're supposed to be able to take the course practice. It's not letting me drop. Now, at the course level, again, you have these options to add in extra material. So if you have a website you want students to go into, you can add that in. A graded activity or a graded discussion, you can add that in. If you want to remove discussions, you can go to the discussion in each unit and remove those discussions. You can remove pre-test. Sorry about that. You can remove pre-test. You can remove post-test. One thing I do want to show you is that if I open a module, you cannot remove things from the module. So you have to take the whole module. All right. And I'm going to close my Skype so that I don't keep getting Skype messages about lunch. Okay. So that is building a course. Now, I always recommend before you publish the course, you rename it so that, because this is what your students will see, this is how it will appear in the course library, so you can just change the name. Make it something that makes sense. Algebra 1A, you know, semester, well, I already put 1A. You can put the version number so that you know where the course came from or where the content came from. Like this one came from version 6, but it's the customized version. This is not what the students will see, but this is not what your section will be called. It's just what the course name is. So you can name it there. The other thing I want to show you, I'm going to go ahead and go right here. For each unit, you see how I removed the pre-test and the post-test for unit 1? I could always add it back just based off of what's in there. And I can choose, if I go on the unit level, I can just hit add pre-test, add post-test if I need to. And it'll generate one there. All right. So I have my pre-test and my post-test. You can also rename the unit. So if I wanted this not to be called unit 1, but maybe I just wanted to call it Q and E, I could do that. And then that's how the students will see it. So if you need to rename any of that information, you can there. Now, the other option you have, and I'm going to go ahead and remove all of this content from this custom course. The other option you have is to search by standards. So you can search Plato content, or you can just actually search websites that Plato offers, or websites that, that Edmentum offers that you can go to externally. So say I did websites and I chose Common Core Standards or My State Standards. I could actually, I'm going to keep it at language arts, I can begin searching for the strand. So you do need to know the strand before you start searching in standards. You can start typing the strand. I always just start with a number, just if you want to see like the breadth of standards that's in there. Once you choose your standards, the websites will give you websites that you can go to or that you can put in your course that align to this. So if I click this view button here, Well, that one's not working. Let's find another one. There we are. I can go to that website and view what would be offered to the student. Again, always view the curriculum. If you find something like I just did, go ahead and report it. I'll be reporting that one. But you can actually just drag that over to your course. Now, one thing I want to point out about any of the websites, it will not generate questions for your students in the actual content. This is more so supplemental. You could always add a document if you wanted to add questions about it. All right, and then if I go to Play-Doh content here, it again modifies this by standards. I can go and pick, these are just material, so a tutorial and a mastery test. I can put that in there, and then say I wanted to add a unit above it, add a new unit. I can just drag that up here, and then I want this material inside the unit. See how that works there? Then I can rename the unit. I can do that and add a pre-test, post-test, so I can kind of build from there. So that would be sort of building from scratch if you didn't have any idea what you wanted, or if you were just using standard content. Now, when you're done with the course, you come up here, you can save it and publish it. And once you publish it, you cannot edit it. So if there's anything wrong in the course, you would have to come back and customize the custom course. You can't edit it. But you also have the option to just save and close it out, which will put it in like that area where you can continue to work on it. And then we also have save and continue working, which is just kind of saving intermittently so you don't lose your work if your computer dies or something like that. Any questions before I move on from this area? Again, you can use this grade level filter here if you need it to specify a certain grade level or the categories. All right, well, if we don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and cancel this. I'm actually going to go back to my program, and I'll show you once you publish a course. I'm going to go to menu, and then I'm going to go to manage courses. Or I'm sorry, menu and then course catalog. The custom course, this is one I did earlier today. It goes on your course catalog, so it's now ready for you to assign it. Here's the custom course that wasn't renamed. Here's one I did earlier. I can tell they're custom courses because right here they say custom course. I can also use the filter up here to just identify my custom courses. Now, when you add a custom course to one program, so right now this is in the Cedar Ridge High School program is where this one was added, it actually goes in all your other programs as well. So if you don't want it to show up in those other programs as an administrator, it needs to be an account administrator. You can go to Administration Center and archive it in those other course programs. Here's one I did earlier. And I can always create a section for this course, and that would allow you to put students in it. I'm going to show you what I did earlier today. This is a CompTIA course, and I actually put two courses, so semester A and B, into one course, which is a lot, but some people like to do it. You'll see it has a total of 67 activities. So I put all of A right here, up to Unit 4, and then all of B. You won't be able to add an end of semester in here, almost like a midterm. You can't do that. It'll just put one end of semester, and that end of semester will have all the questions from all these units from A and B. And if you look, this is why I don't necessarily recommend it. If you look at the course, this course has a total, or this end of semester has a total of 180 questions, which is a lot. Each course for this course had 90 questions. Or I'm sorry, each semester had 90 questions, which is a lot for a course, but it's a CompTIA course, which you can get a certification for. But that's one reason I don't recommend putting two courses in one, or two semesters in one full course, because that can be a lot for students. All right. So that's where you find your custom courses. I'm now going to move back into the presentation because we're pretty much done. I'm going to give you some best practices. And the first one is combining courses will create a large in the semester. We just saw that. Also, view unfamiliar curriculum before choosing it. I showed you how to do that, and that's just so that you know what you're giving your students, you know what material they'll be presented, and if they have any questions about it, you already know what those questions are and know how to answer them. Also, a good best practice, and I see this a lot, is if your original course, so the course that you're pulling content from, if it has no post-test or no mastery test, then when you move the content over into your custom course and you provide a post-test or a mastery test, or I'm sorry, a post-test or an end-of-semester test, that content from the original course will not have questions in the post-test or the end-of-semester test. So let me say that again. You have the original course, you pull content from it that has no post-test or no mastery test, then when you generate questions in your custom course, like generate a post-test, generate an end-of-semester test, the content you pulled over that had no post-test, no mastery test, will not have questions in the post-test or the end-of-semester test. So basically, if there's nothing in the original course that has a post-test or a mastery test, it will not produce questions in a post-test or mastery test or end-of-semester test that you generate in your custom course. Another best practice, use the new curriculum when you are creating your custom course. And the reason why I say that is our most up-to-date content is the content that is most up-to-date to any standard changes, technology-wise. It's most up-to-date. Any bugs that was in it will have been removed. So it's just best practice to always use the new curriculum. Don't try to go into the old curriculum, because once your course is created custom, we no longer, if it's using content that's old, we no longer support or maintain any old curriculum. So you'll be kind of stuck there. And then one final thought, customize your courses according to your curriculum standards and your scope and sequence. So oftentimes we'll have a few teachers call in to support asking, if the curriculum, if their custom course that they're creating is aligned to their curriculum standards, and if it follows their scope and sequence. Our support team has no way of knowing that unless we pulled up your curriculum standards and scope and sequence and tried to follow what you did. And that takes a lot of time. It's best if, and they won't, to be honest, they won't do it for you. So it's best if you're unsure, to refer to any any curriculum coordinators or a curriculum that is with your state or school. Look at your Department of Education. Go to basically the person who specializes in your curriculum and your standardization, so that you make sure that you create a course that follows that alignment. All right. So we're at the portion where we have questions. Right now I'm looking at no questions. I'm guessing that I did an awesome job. But if you have some, go ahead and start typing those in. We're 2 minutes before time, so go ahead and start typing those in. I'm going to move to the next slide so I can provide you with those additional resources, but I'm definitely here to answer any questions. So as far as your additional resources, continue to join us here at Edmentum in our live workshops. You signed up at this website, www.edmentum.com. Go ahead and go to that website, sign up for some additional courseware, or if you have other Edmentum products, sign up for those workshops. We have blended learning and courseware coming up. We also have our past workshops recorded, and they are living on our YouTube page. So if you search Edmentum Implementation Team, you're going to see a figurine of or just a character really, of one of our Edmentum characters. That is us. You can go follow us, subscribe, and you'll be kept up to date with any of the recordings we have. Also, check out the Edmentum What's New page. There's the link to the website. Basically, this keeps you up to date on everything that's coming out or has come out for any Edmentum solutions. Within the actual, and within courseware, there's a help center button. You can go to the help center button to get resources. You can also go to get support's phone number and to get to our support website. And that website is listed here. If you don't want to go through the help center, if you just want to type it in, you can do that. And then finally, you have our Edmentum support team. They're available Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, unless otherwise noted on, and we'll give you a notification on the login screen if something is changing, and it's usually out a week before anything happens, like if they're closing early. You're welcome to call them or email them. Those are our two main ways to support. I recommend calling if it's something urgent or if you just need some assistance. The best time to call, if you ask me, is during a little bit after lunchtime, because everybody who had the morning wave of calls has already died down. But you can also email as well, and the turnaround time at this point is 24 hours. So I'm looking back. Let me just make sure there's no more questions and check my chat one more time. Nope. Well, I want to thank you all for joining me. It was great having you. I appreciate your time. I hope you have a wonderful day, a happy holidays if I don't get to speak with you or see you again. And I hope you enjoy Edmentum. Let us know if you have any questions. Bye-bye.